We're back out here at the $1 Million renovation house. Today we need to install the door and finish up the trim. Then this project should be all wrapped up. We got the door installed and my dad's currently working on getting it painted. We have the first coat on. We'll get the second one on after it dries. While he's painting the door and getting the hardware installed, I'm going through and doing the baseboard trim. A couple of tips whenever you're doing trim is to make sure that you measure twice and cut once. There's so many times where people just get in a hurry and end up cutting a piece and it ends up being too short or too long and it just doesn't work out well. So ways that you can reduce your scrap is just making sure that your measurements are good before doing the cut. As you can see, I just have everything kind of fitted up right now. I want to make sure that everything fits up and looks good before we go ahead and shoot it with some finish nails. So I got all the trim pieces cut and laid out. So what we're going to do now is go through and nail them. To be able to nail them properly, you want to make sure that you're nailing into a stud so that it has the proper support. I use one of these, which is called a stud finder. Let's make sure it works. It works. Since we're working on tile ground, I'm marking where the studs are. So when I have the baseboard pushed up, I can just go to that spot and shoot it. One way to double check that you actually have the correct length for the studs is to measure 16 inches. Usually walls are framed at 16 on center. So if I know that there's a stud right here and I find one 16 inches later, that means that we're actually doing right. If you look right here, I have a stud right over there and I have one right here. I measured, it's 16 inches, so I know it's right. I just like to double check to make sure that I'm getting the correct spacing for each one and also that the stud finder isn't messing up.
No.
We got the trim all done. Dad went through and did the caulking on top of the trim. That way it blends nice and well. You won't see a gap in between the wall and the trim. And now he's going through and painting the trim the color of the walls. It's what the customer wanted, so it's what they get. Last but not least, we got the door installed and the trim put around it. All right, it is 7 o'clock at night. We are finally wrapped up. As you see right here, we have this trim. It's all painted out all along here. We had to do a little bit of cleanup in the morning. As you can see, we have some stuff laying around, but all the actual work is done. So we'll swing out here in the morning, bring a dump trailer, get rid of all the extra scrap wood, everything else from this project, but it is done, it is good to go. Customer is pretty stoked about what we have. This is our last day at the $1 million renovation home. All we had to do is a little bit of touch-up work and some cleaning, and this project is all done. Well, that wraps it all up, folks. We got all the tile laid. We have everything all cleaned up. This project is complete. Thank you all for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.